What's up, residents? So today we have another lovely video where we get a special member from the Godzilla community and have him on to talk about stuff and things. And for today, we have Mr. Dante. Dante, introduce yourself and your lovely 115,000 subscriber channel.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up?
Welcome back again.
Yeah, man. All right. So
Man,
obviously, you've been following Godzilla vs. Kong, which means you know about all the delays and all the nonsense that's been going on with this movie. But have you seen how recently the deal with Wonder Woman and how that's being released? Have you kept up to date with Wonder Woman since that is a Warner Brothers movie just like Godzilla vs. Kong?
yeah, so I know that they dropped a trailer yesterday, and apparently it's supposed to be released on Christmas Day this year. And as far as I've been told and what I've been hearing is it's potential, but
Yeah, so well, it's a weird time because if you guys haven't noticed, there's been a little thing called coronavirus amongst other things going on this year, and that's really put a dampener on the whole movie industry. And so Wonder Woman is kind of like a big step in getting everything back in line here. And they're releasing the movie in movie theaters and HBO Max on Christmas Day, December 25th, and then it's staying like that for a month. And then after that, it'll be in movie theaters strictly just for a month on its own, and then back to this video on demand stuff that's starting to come more into play. Coronavirus kind of rushed that thing along, and I really think that that's potentially what could happen to Godzilla vs. Kong. Do you think we're gonna actually get a theatrical and this video on demand release at the same time, so the Legendary Studios and Warner Brothers can actually make as much money and hopefully success off of this movie? How do you feel about how it's gonna be released in theaters, on video on demand? What's your whole thoughts on this crazy process?
so yeah, with everything going on, I still have a lot of faith in both Legendary and Warner Brothers because, they're really taking this movie a lot more serious compared to what happened with King of the Monsters and the feedback that they received from it. So, they did say that prior to making this film, they're trying to make it A plus for both, hardcore fans, but also the casual fans that don't know too much about Godzilla and Kong. So if they're really smart about, their marketing strategy, they can really pull it off. So if they have to be cautious enough to maybe release it in theaters for like, I don't know, a week, a month or whatever, and then release it on television, that's what they got to do, then so be it. Either way, I'm happy to find out that this movie is still released, on time, no more delays as of right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everything is still on course. Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I think with Wonder Woman, if they're doing this with Wonder Woman, I think May, when Godzilla vs. Kong is supposed to come out, is gonna be it's gonna be good by then. I know that there's been lots of talks of vaccines and hopefully getting crowds to be able to gather slowly back together. So in another 6 months, half a year or so, who knows what the world's gonna be? And Godzilla vs. Kong is probably going to still be affected by it, but if they're able to kind of, I always tell people with this video on demand thing was coming in like 5-10 years, right? Like we kind of knew that the theatrical releases was a slight dying breed in the long term here, and coronavirus, at least in my opinion, sped that up a pretty good bit. And so now we're testing it out, so maybe they can figure out a way to get the most out of both worlds here and make it to where people are safe and don't have to worry about freaking out like, oh god, if I go to the theaters, I'm gonna get the Rona. So they can stay and watch it at home and hopefully get some money out of it too for Legendary and Godzilla vs. Kong to get some more MonsterVerse movies, but who really knows? But I thought that was worth bringing up because I'm pretty sure at this point, if Wonder Woman isn't being delayed again, Godzilla vs. Kong probably isn't as well. So hopefully we get to see it in May. So that's exciting. But anyway, what's your thoughts on Godzilla vs. Kong overall anyway? Do you think it's going to be the movie you want to see? You made a good point where they're trying to make it fun for everyone. I feel like Godzilla 2014 was a very, very casual, audience. Same with Skull Island. And then King of the Monsters was definitely, Alistair and I always talk about this, it was the epitome of a perfect Americanized Toho Godzilla movie. which is good and bad. It's good if you're a classic Godzilla fan. If you're a normal casual moviegoer, you might not like it, and we've seen that kind of carry through with how the movie performed. It did solid, but nowhere near as good as the last two movies. So, do you think they're gonna nail it with Godzilla vs. Kong? Do you think Adam Wingard has it?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Like, I'm telling you, like, no spoilers or nothing. I didn't get spoiled myself either, but I know quite a lot of things about this movie. I know how it's gonna be played out. When they say they're gonna top it better than King of the Monsters, they are not lying about that. They will give you the promise that you guys have been hoping for. So all the waits, all the delays, everything that we've been going through right now, it's going to be so worth it.
Yeah.
When this thing comes out next year in May.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it sucks that it was delayed, but in a movie that's supposed to be a visual spectacle with a lot of CGI and all that, these delays were kind of perfect because it made it to where they don't have to rush. A lot of movies and video games in general these days are just being rushed constantly, and they're coming out kind of half-assed and nowhere near as good as they should be or could be. And with video games, they can go and throw out updates and fix it over time. But once your movie's out, it's out and you can't fix it, and your reputation is either jacked up and destroyed or you're doing well. So this extra time is making it to where hopefully it's a better product. I feel like King of the Monsters was rushed just a little bit, and that kind of was probably why the CGI was impressive, but they hid it behind all the stuff, and it was kind of fuzzy looking a lot of the time. So that extra, heck, they've had an extra year or so now to perfect this movie. It's been done probably since August, I think, is when people pretty much said it was done, and they're just waiting to go. They probably have a trailer made for us. It's probably they're just waiting for the coronavirus news to kind of get a little positive. I think all the movie industry is right now. There's still a chance that we get a trailer next month. I hope so. What do you think?
I hope so too. I'm telling you, I feel like, something is still due before we enter next year. Like I said, because Adam Wingard, the director himself, he is actually very quiet with his projects.
Very
That's
quiet.
Also why you don't hear too much, and he's just posting very casual things and kind of making fans either turn left or turn right, making us get confused or get excited, one of those kind of things. And as far as that goes, with all the waits that we've been having, there's something's gonna come. I'm telling you, I have that feeling something's gonna come.
It's
right there.
They've had so much time to prepare for this moment, and they should have something lined up really nice for us. And I'd be real happy with just a little teaser next month, even if it's just a 15-second clip of Kong and Godzilla just kind of staring down, maybe some old Western kind of some little whistle, the wind blowing, and it just kind of pans around and you see them both just going and then it just goes away. I'd be like, all right, awesome. That's all the fans need. They just need something at this point. Hopefully we get something next month. If we don't, then who the heck knows? But I'm pretty hopeful still at this point. And even if Godzilla vs. Kong gets delayed again or some nonsense happens, we still have Godzilla Singular Point coming out, a brand new anime Godzilla experience. So have you seen the trailer for that?
Yeah. Definitely, I definitely have. Yes, I saw so I know it came out the night. It came out sometime during the nighttime, but I was gonna just wait till the next following morning to do it. And when I seen it, I was like, okay, this already gave me a better impression compared to the last anime trilogy series that we got. Don't get me wrong, it was enjoyable to watch, but so many things were just not hitting, and there's so much potential throughout the movie, but they just did not live up to it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it did a lot of cool things. The way how it represented Godzilla Earth and all the monsters was pretty cool. Controversial with Ghidorah, but nonetheless, that was still a neat idea for the monster, I guess. It didn't really translate well, but they tried. But overall, with every single one of those anime films, it was about 5 minutes of me watching mixed with 5 minutes of me bouncing around on my phone mixed with me watching for oh good, there's Godzilla, I'm excited, and he's gone, or he's fighting a city thing, and it's it was hard to keep my attention. But I think this new one could do quite well. I'm not the biggest anime fan, never really have been. I watched some of it, but I did love the Godzilla or Zilla 1998 cartoon, which was, I think, awesome, and how that followed Godzilla and this crew of humans. I think is something similar to what we're going to see in Singular Point, because it looks like there's going to be this big crew of like scientists and soldiers and kids, or I don't know exactly, following at least the monsters around. We still don't know if Godzilla's a good guy or bad guy in this one, but I'm excited for it. I think we'll actually get something cool here, and it'll hold over at least the hardcore Godzilla fans until Godzilla vs. Kong. I don't know if this anime is going to hit home with the casual audience or even anime audiences in general, but I'm hopeful for that. But that's supposed to come out in Japanese Netflix spring of next year, which means we'll probably get it a month or two after. So right around the same time, potentially, is when Godzilla vs. Kong was released. So maybe Toho, Legendary, all the good people behind Godzilla, King Kong, and Kaiju and monsters are waiting to just like throw up on us summer of next year and just be like, yo, Godzilla. Just throw it in our faces. And maybe we'll get a whole bunch of new fans out of this deal. And it's been a little hard for us Godzilla YouTubers with nothing really to talk about, but it's been hard for a lot of people this year. You know, the entertainment industry has been hit probably the most hard out of all the industries with Corona and all that. So hopefully things are going to get back on track. I'm excited for Singular Point. Is there anything else you hope Singular Point, I guess, shows to you? Like, as a Godzilla hardcore fan, like, what do you really want to see with the series?
So, okay, let me tell you something. Okay, so, I noticed that Gabra came back. I was like, okay, Gabra's back. All right,
and he
haven't
looks
seen
cool
you since
this
Godzilla's
time
Revenge.
too, man. He doesn't look like this weird little creeper doll anymore. Like, he looks like a freaky monster. I'm excited to see him in this one, yeah.
So I was like, okay, so they actually did justice for Gabra. And I'm like, okay, so I don't know if he's going to have that same kind of annoying roar from Godzilla's Revenge, with they like surprises with something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they said Titanosaurus is in there.
Yep.
People are saying it's like either Manda or Titanosaurus.
Well,
like
I believe it's
both.
both.
Right
There's in the trailer you can see a quick couple glimpses of what I believe is Manda. And it's like kind of because it has that like serpenty kind of like Eastern dragon sort of look, I guess you could say. And then Titanosaurus is that giant. It's the same color as Titanosaurus. It's just it looks more like a fish because it's not a guy in a suit. So they're able to take more like creative liberties with it, and that's kind of a big point that we've been talking about, Alistair and I, and even Clayton. We talked having a video talking about the monsters here coming out, and actually it's already out on the channel by the time this video is out. But the way how they're designing these monsters in this Godzilla Singular Point, it's interesting. They're making the ones that they couldn't have much freedoms with because they were guys in suits, so they had to be on two legs and be like, the classic Godzilla look.
Yeah.
So they don't have to do that anymore, and they could have more fun. So Gabara doesn't look like a creepy child doll anymore. He actually looks like a terrifying monster. Titanosaurus actually looks like a fish hybrid monster thing. Rodan looks like a pterosaur, pretty much 100%, minus like some spikes coming off his chest and a little couple classic Rodan designs. Anguirus is this big giant ball of spikes, which he's always been, but he looks brutal this time around. I think
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, they finally probably had enough of Anguirus kind of being Godzilla's little kind of friend or whatever. So they're like, let's make Anguirus a real tank in this one. Like, his whole body's covered in spikes. He looks mean and deadly. So I'm pretty stoked for that. So I don't know. I have high hopes with Singular Point and Godzilla vs. Kong. I think it's gonna be fun for us fans. And I guess I can't forget, we still have the prequels coming in the form of the comics for the Monsterverse. The story that follows Godzilla and Kong. They're both getting their own comic adventure sort of prequels leading up to Godzilla vs. Kong. I still kind of hope that they release those. They were supposed to come out in November, so this month, but then with the delays, they pushed them back. I kind of wish that they would release those books for us, like either this month before Christmas or You know, like right before the movie instead of releasing out at the same time, just to give us a little something to get us excited. But I guess they're just gonna throw it all out in the same time here. Like I said, they're just gonna blah all over us. So.
Here you guys go. Oh, God.
Regardless, I think the future of Godzilla, Kong, and monsters is quite bright. What do you think about the future of Godzilla, I guess?
Oh, you already know. There is no question there. It's gonna really change our mindset. We are gonna be glorified. Like, we are gonna be blessed as fans. Like, so much satisfaction is gonna come our way. Like, there's no doubt right there.
Yeah. Well, hey man, here's hoping for a really sick future of Godzilla, monster, and kaiju goodness. I'm excited. Hopefully everything can keep on this path of getting back on track here. So, hey, here's hoping.
And on top of that, they also did release the art of Godzilla versus Kong. That's actually released. It came out on November 17th, but apparently if you try and go on Amazon right now, it's sold out. So
Yeah, I was
all
wondering
those,
about
yeah,
that. I seen something, but I
yeah.
thought it was like a glitch. I seen some people say it was like a hiccup on Amazon's part. There wasn't any like pictures. I wish I would have known because I would have been one of those people that pre-ordered that thing. But it's like
Me too.
I couldn't tell if it was legit or not. If they were actually putting it out or not putting it out, or if it was a hiccup or an error or what. I guess we'll figure it out soon enough. I'll have to go and take a look at that. If any of you people know anything about this, and if we can get this book, please let us know, because I want my copy of it. I want to start seeing some cool stuff. So, hey, here's hoping for that, I guess, as well.
I actually had something to say. So here is a theory that I came up with. Okay, hear me out, guys. So
All right.
forget Wonder Woman real quick. Let's talk about this. So I came up with something because me and a couple other fans were like on the same page with this. So we were just thinking, what if Legendary and Warner Brothers are purposely allowing Toho to show out, with Godzilla Singular Point first, because they know that once Legendary and Warner Brothers releases their trailer, all those fans are gonna go flying directly to that. So what if they're allowing Toho to get all their attention right now, so that way ahead of time, okay, April, and then bam, Godzilla vs. Kong right there a month afterwards.
That's true. That's a real good point, because if they were to go and release anything Godzilla vs. Kong right now, I'm sorry, Singular Point, you'd probably be steamrolled by the amount of people that are... They're not around as much right now, but it seems like everybody's just like, I'm just going to zone out, tone out until I see something, and then we're going to get a rush of a massive storm of fans that have just been kind of let down, so they've kind of like disappeared and kind of went away to other things, like many of us have this year. It's been a rough year. But yeah, you're right. That actually makes a lot of sense, because they would shaft Singular Point pretty good if they started to promote at the same time. It would probably get kind of forgotten, and we know they're talking with Toho and they're planning. Maybe Toho was like, well, since these delays are coming in, let us put out this thing on Netflix. People can watch Netflix at home, don't have to worry about the coronavirus with that. And so let's do that. Get a little bit of... Singular Point in itself is kind of marketing for Godzilla vs. Kong, because it's going to have people watching Godzilla. So it's kind of non-direct marketing. It's just getting people hyped for monsters and monster films. So you'll have that set group of fans and viewers who are really excited, and that'll just bump up even more, getting some press for Godzilla vs. Kong. So you're actually on to something. Good thinking, Dante. That's probably what is likely in play right now. I'm still thinking that we'll get something Godzilla vs. Kong before the anime comes out officially. But they probably are like, hey, let's give your trailer a month or two, and we'll start doing something, hopefully. So...
yes. Hope to God.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. We'll have to have you on again, man. This has been a real good time talking and getting to chat some Godzilla with some people. It's been long. It seems like all the other community members, at least a lot of them, have toned down. I mean, it's been hard, like I said. So it's fun to talk about stuff again and not just be like, I gotta go and scrape the bucket here to talk about some monster stuff. So it's been a good time, Dante. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on board. Yeah, I really cannot wait for future podcasts. I'm really down to just talk about whatever because there's always something on my mind. So it's always great to vent to someone that's like, having a similar mindset as me or better. So it's definitely an honor, my dude.
Oh, it's an honor having you on, sir. So, real quick before we go, just wanted to point out real quick, got this special Dangerville. Let me get this thing up here. Custom Godzilla shirt. If you guys want to go and have your own shirt like this, hit up our Teesprings down below. You'll find all the links and good stuff like that. We're going to have some holiday deals coming out here soon. So, if you like what you see, please maybe buy something and help support the channel. So anyway, like I said, thanks for being on, Dante. Residents of Dangerville, we'll see you next time. Peace out.
Peace!
Brother, that was freaking sexy.